Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have watched a debate last night of Daniel Haqiqat Jew and there is a person named Andrew. I still don't know his full name. I don't remember his full name, but he's a Christian debater and he's very much active in modern day debates. So, and very well known person actually. And the topic was that which religion is best for the society, Islam or Christianity. Now these kinds of debate, if you know, will only create tension between Muslims and Christians, fine, and will give ego boost to each parties. For example, Daniel arguing from the Muslim side will only give ego boost to their Muslim audience, and Christian, Andrew, who is basically talking for the Christian point, will only give ego boost to the Christians out there. So this actually people cannot learn anything from these kinds of debate, and these kinds of debates are actually useless. The debate should be on the topic, or there should be no debate. Rather, dialogues should be where you can change the perspective, and there is no burden upon you to win or lose debates. The dialogue or the debate should be on the topic how the Muslims and Christians can coexist in a society, because any society is actually contains majority religion and minority religion. So if a person, if there is a place where majority are Christians and minority are Muslims, the focus should be coexistence and to come to the common terms rather than debating which is best for the society. Of course, the Christians will say Christianity is best for the society, and the Muslims will say Islam is best for the society. What's so rocket science about it? It is only feeding your own confirmation bias. So what is so wonderful about these debates? Fine. And one of the argument which Andrew actually see, this debate was so ridiculous that I even had so much interest to watch the full debate. To be honest, I have not watched the full debate but I have watched an ample amount of time of this debate. And one of the argument of Andrew was that Islam, Christian society are better for the Christians. Christianity is better for the society because in Islam there is cousin marriage, and since there is a cousin marriage, therefore they inbreed, and therefore their IQ goes down. Basically, taking a digs at the Muslims. Wherever they go, they marry their cousins, and they create people with low IQ. Now I agree that cousin marriage is actually a problem within Muslim community. I agree with that. I am not someone who is will defend every act of the Muslim. No, I agree that cousin marriage nowadays is a problem. Why? Because they are doing it from generation to generation. They have made it a habit to marry the cousin. See, I agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed marriage with cousins. I am not denying that. Fine, marriage with cousins is something which is allowed in Islam. And even Andrew cannot prove that marrying cousin is prohibited from the Bible. He cannot prove that. Maybe he has fallen into he worship more his Christ rather than God. I don't know about it. But from the Bible or from the Torah or from the Injil, he cannot prove that cousin marriage is something which is prohibited in Christianity or whatever, or is something fine, or from the Bible he cannot prove it. That's point number 2. Point number 2 is that this is not the only factor why Muslims are behind. There are multiple factors where Muslims are behind, or there can be other factors as well, but even the Christians are behind. Just because Christians are thriving in one particular society and not thriving in other society, this itself proves a point. And this cannot be the only reasons why the Muslims are backward, or the Muslim societies are not flourishing, because the Muslims, when they were at their peak period, they were even marrying their cousins at that time also. Fine. So it has nothing to do with cousin marriage. Yes, cousin marriage itself is a problem right now in the Ummah. Fine. Please, if something is halal, that doesn't mean that you have to do it to a certain extent that the balance is it gets off balance. For example, the Quran allows marriage with the Jews and Christian women. Now, if every Muslim man marries Jew and Christian woman, who will then marry the Muslim woman? And this is what happened at the time of Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu, that the Sahabas were continuously marrying Christian women, Christian and Jews women. So Umar bin Khattab actually stopped them from doing so. That doesn't mean that marrying Christian woman, chaste Christian woman or Jew woman is haram in Islam. The reason why Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu stopped the Sahabas from doing so is because if they marry Jews and Christian women, people from the Ahl Kitab, who will then marry the Muslim women? So this was the logic. So similarly, even today, you can ban cousin marriage for a particular time period, and maybe in the future you can also allow it if it seems that now. And this is not a reason why you should say that Islamic societies are dumb society. First of all, this is an easy generalization. We have the example of Dubai, all the Gulf country. It is very recently that you have got West, who has risen, who is actually doing well. It is a very recent phenomena. It is not something from the beginning. Even from the beginning, it is because of World War II that you have got the power. It is not because of your IQ. It is because of the political circumstances which were created. And since you are the winner of World War II, that's the reason the West is having a good time. Otherwise, if you see, most of the people have got rich by usurping the properties of others. Most of the West have got rich because of conquering other lands or bombing other lands. And even the economy today is controlled by the West. And they have their own share of bloodshed. They have their own bloodshed. So saying that cousin marriage is the reason it actually does not make sense. And even Albert Einstein actually married his cousin. So cousin marriages, yes, it is a problem in the Muslim community, but it is also present in other community as well. So this cannot be the only reason why Christianity or Islam is best for the society. There are other moral reasons as well, where both can coexist. See, if I say that Islam is better for society, I need to prove it to a Christian or a Hindu that the treatment of the Christians and the Hindus are better in Islamic societies. And I don't just need to say it or debate it, I need to do it from practically. And one example I can give you, where I am staying right now, is Dubai, where people of all the different ethnicity has come, all the different religions have come, and they are actually having a good time, and they are enjoying their rights, and there is no discrimination on the basis of religion or gender. And Dubai is actually considered one of the most you can say wealthy, or you can say one of the most powerful city in the world. And it is actually giving tough competitions to US. And Dubai is a Muslim country. You cannot deny that Dubai is a Muslim country. Qatar is a Muslim country. Even Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, it is going at a different level. Muslim country. Malaysia, fine, I agree that it has not reached, but at least Dubai has reached the level of US or the Western countries. So this debate itself is a futile debate, that how which is best for the society, Islam or Christianity. I think the question which we need to ask, that how can Muslims and Christians can coexist by sharing the common points between them. Because this is what the Quran says, that come to common points between us and you.